Northern Dufferin Baseball League on Rogers TV this evening. Mansfield Cubs against the Owen Sound Baysox. Tom Williams Park, Owen Sound, Ontario, and my buddy Spencer here tonight to bring you this game. And of course, Baysox are doing extremely well. Fox, their record 7-2 in third place in the division, and doing a tremendous job so far this season. We were kind of concerned. First broadcast we did, they were struggling a bit, but looks like we've got Nate Kramer on the mound, record of 1-0. Battery mate Slater in behind the plate, and they're just about ready to get set to go. First pitch.
Not only that, Gord, the Baysox are actually on a 5-game heater to get a chance to look at the Cubs lineup. They are currently they have 2 wins and 12 losses, so they're definitely on the other end of the spectrum when it comes to the standings. And I know Carter French was one of their better hitters last time they were here in their most recent game we did on Rogers TV with me and JC. It was Mansfield back here during what almost turned into a rain delay. Well, there wasn't a rain delay, and then there was a light delay, so hopefully neither of those two things happen here tonight. Gord, as Kramer gets a chance on the hill.
Yes, I know, and then pitching well, getting set. The opening batter coming up to the plate, number 22, Braden Dorian from the Cubs, and first pitch by Kramer. Another ball.
Something he was really excelled at last time we were here, Gord, when you and I were together, was Kramer was really good at getting ahead in counts. He's already behind.
3-0. Dorian's probably going to keep that bat right on his shoulder because right now Kramer's having trouble finding that plate.
And you see there, Gord, a little rub up on the ball. Good idea to be able to kind of reset your mind, reset your eyes.
Here comes the pitch. Gets a strike call. No, he actually is a ball. But I thought it was a strike call. He was raising his hand up and pointing down to first base. So Carter French, number 33, coming to the plate. Kramer losing the first batter earlier in the game. Last time they played fairly well. It was like you said, it was 1-0 forever, and then all of a sudden ended up winning the game 5-1. So you can't take a team lightly, depending on at any time in a sporting event. And even though they're maybe scraping the bottom a little bit, there's only one team worse than them, and with the worst record, you can't just sit back and not take them serious.
Well, and last time they were here,
swing and a miss.
Last time they were here, they got shut down by a Trevor Smith gem. He pitched every inning, all 7 full. He allowed the 1 run. I don't think it was earned. And he had, I think, from what I remember, Gord, 16 Ks in that game.
Well, he went 5 innings for a no-hitter from what I was talking to Don this morning in the dugout, and ball into the dirt. Takes the count. I believe it's 1-2.
But you can tell something's not exactly right with Kramer right now. He's really struggling to locate, really trying to get himself set.
Set, throws, runner goes. Slater didn't even try to throw that ball, and that kid still has a gun. Kramer gets set, first base is open. Another ball. 2-2 count, none out, 1 on second. Cubs already threatening. Kramer looks back at the runner, comes in. There's the throw. Swing and a miss and gets him. On a strike call.
That's a great pitch there for Kramer, and that's a great confidence boost there for Kramer, who comes into the night with 12 Ks. That's number 13 on this season for him. Well, he really needed that one, Gord.
Oh, he did, because, I mean, he struggled with the first batter sitting on second base. Greer up to bat. That's Tyler Greer. Got a strike calls. Daner Saunders behind the plate tonight. Very, very experienced umpire, and of course Bobby Gillespie out on the bases. Another very experienced umpire too. Been around baseball a long time, those two guys. Oh, just a slow little pitcher. I'm telling you, Greer didn't like that call because that thing just, I think that's the kind of pitch I throw.
Yeah, it either just caught the back corner of the plates where I think the umpire makes that call, but Tyler Greer's played only 4 games with this team, 11 plate appearances, but is hitting over 500, is one of the better hitters in his limited sample size with this Cubs team. So it looks like they've had a lot of chop and change, have the away side, and that also probably doesn't help with the season struggles so far this year for the away side.
I don't know whether time was called on that play, Tom. That ball was thrown across the infield by the first baseman, and
I think it was foul. I guess why they got away with it.
it was foul, but the throw back to the pitcher is a live throw, so if I'm not mistaken, and I probably am mistaken. It's been a long time since I read a rule book. So.
And the rules always change. That's
Yeah.
kind of the always big problem with that.
Inside pitch.
And you know what's sad, Gord? I know Kramer wants that called because I believe that's just about where the last one was called, where Greer took his real walk out of the box and touched the grass to kind of, see if there's any dandelions waiting for him.
Well, the groundskeepers kept look. This field looks tremendous tonight. It's in great shape. Walked the infield earlier, and it's all raked up and looks really good. Nice job by There's a shot right up the middle. Picked up at short into dirt. Is it going to got him?
A little low of a throw there by Kirk Gibson, but it gets there anyway. Kirk has a gun at shortstop, so no real doubt there.
Well, that was a nice scoop out of my post out of the dirt too. So nice play all around. That makes it 2 out here in the top of the first inning here at the Baysox game here up at. I keep wanting to call it Duncan McLeod. I know I was stopping myself 3 times from doing it. So. But anyway, we're here for baseball here on Rogers TV. Up to bat. Number 10, Nicholson. And he gets a single right up the middle, drives in the run as Dorian comes in. And of course, that's 1-0 for the Cubs. Here early in this game up at Tom Williams Park.
And again, Gord, they only scored 1 in that 5-1 win for the Baysox you're talking about during the rain and light delay last time Rogers TV was here. And they only had 1 in 7 innings. They already got 1 now. So obviously this Cubs team is a lot different than the team that was last year, which you'd expect with a lot of new guys, not a lot of new faces there in the lineup.
Kramer delivers, and it's a ball on the first pitch. Attenborough is the batter right now. Throw it back to first base, not in time. Just got the uniform a little dirty, a little early in the game.
Well, I know that this Cubs team likes to run, and they got a lot of guys with a lot of speed.
Fly ball, deep, right field. It's out. Somebody sitting out in left field, in right field, just tossed the ball back in. Boy, what a crack that was.
And Gord, that's Attenborough's first home run of the season. He had a lot of pop last time he was here, just couldn't seem to put one in the seats. Finally gets rid of one today, and actually, pardon me.
That's Ryan.
I will correct myself. You and I both saw the same thing as we did. It was actually looks like Cody Bryan in his 8th at bat of the season, and it is his first home run of the season. Put the back in the jersey.
Well, Bryan is number 28. In the back of the jersey says Attenborough told us number 7, but that was somebody told. We'll catch on, but Lance Bryan, I think, is the player. Didn't catch the number, but Attenborough is supposed to be in the lineup. No, Lance Bryan. Number 7 was the hitter. Number 2. So we'll see who's catching when we come up. Here comes Bryan. Cody Bryan.
Yeah, it kind of causes confusion, Gore, when you have a couple Bryans on the team, couple Caldwells on the team, couple Frenches on the team.
There's a foul into the dugout. Everybody's scattering in there right down on that shot. Kramer has had difficulty in this inning finding the plate, but also too, the last time I watched him pitch, it took him a while to get into the game, and then finally he did. And then managed to get it inside pitch. Greg Slater behind the plate. Got a called strike. And that ends the inning as Brian got called looking at it. And the tough inning for the Baysox as they go down 3-0 as the Cubs pick up three runs on 2 hits, and one was a beautiful home run right to right center field, and that's almost the deepest part of the park. So good inning by the offense for the Cubs. Let's see. Owen Sound's batting order coming up on your screen. Brian Bartley at center field is going to lead off with Ryan McNeil in right field. Brian Post to first base. Paul Van Cedar at second base. Robert Doyle is in left field. Kirk Gibson at short. Kevin Zettler at third base. Greg Slater, of course, behind the plate. And Greg Bartley is the DH. So that's a pretty potent lineup, too. If you look at some of the batting averages some of these players got, just unbelievable. So Mansfield, their defense, Carter French is in left field, Tyler Greer in center field. Lucas Sweet, Tyler Greer, pardon me, coming on to the bag, to the bases, third base, Ben Nicholson, Braden Dorian at short, Cody Bryan at second base, Steve Bourget at first base, Owen Van Dielen, and the catcher is Alex Attenborough, and Owen Van Dielen is the pitcher. We'll see what he comes up with. But we got a fellow by the name of Brian wearing number 7, and I'll have to check that out. Find out what happened, because we have an Attenborough that's Alex Attenborough that's at number 7, but Brian on the back of his jersey, and it very well could be he forgot his jersey and got that one. So that happens.
It looks like Owen, as you mentioned, Van Dielen, who's pitching tonight. He's only pitched 1 inning so far this year, allowed 6 runs in that appearance. And actually, pardon me, I believe he went 6 innings, or no, it is 1 inning. He allowed 6 hits and 6 runs in his lone inning appearance on the season. And you mentioned, Gordon, you looked at the lineup of the Baysox. All of their potent hitters are basically 1 to 4. Once you get past Van Cedar, the back half of the Baysox lineups, average-wise, is not the greatest, not where you'd want it to be. Now, obviously, that's usually the way lineups are made. They're made top to bottom. You want the best hitters at the front, so they hit most. But that also means once you get through Post and Van Cedar, you have a better chance of being able to get through the lineup. And one thing that this Baysox team really struggled with last time they played this Mansfield team, it was the lineup. I believe they only had 2 hits in the entire game, even though they scored 5 runs.
Well, they load up the bases and they get runs and stuff like that. That makes a huge, huge difference. Van Dielen throws the pitch, and not a favorable call that time.
You saw Bartley there tried to bunt it. He kind of fainted at it there for a second, but that ball was well out, so he let it go.
Van Dielen gets the pitcher, comes in, it's going to be high. Dana Saunders was waving it up. He said it was high. Van Dielen again. Bartley at the plate. Let that slide by too. 3-0's the count. You see him getting set. There's Bartley having a look. There's a shot, and he lets it go, and that's driven a long way to the wall. Bartley's going to take 1. Is he going to try for 3? No, he's going to play it safe in. Oh, good way to get that ball in real quick. Bartley opens up with a 2, with a 3. I'm surprised he had the green light. So it's 3-0. I would have, because the coach would have said, put it on your shoulder. But I guess when you got a guy that's sitting over 500, you let him swing at it. So,
especially when it looks that good, and he almost barreled it. He just, I think, missed it, which is why it's sliced to left center field, but it perfectly got right in the gap.
That's a quick ball right off the bat. McNeil lets that one go by. But then again, too, that ball was hit well, and it was hit right to the deepest part of the ballpark. right in front of the old scoreboard that's out there. Dealing. High pitch. Count goes to 1-1.
Again, I will mention Owen Sound right now is on a 5-game winning streak. It would have maybe been a little different if they played their game against Bolton that got postponed on the 9th. But even with that being said, winning 5 straight is very good for this young season.
There's a long shot into center field. Makes the catch, tagging up, heading for third base. Oh, that play's close. Off the ball, I'll tell you, that would have been out if he'd made that catch.
Ball was a little light. You would have probably liked the center fielder just try to hit the cutoff there just to be able to get that relay throw. Because you may have been able to get him going with a relay throw because being able to put the ball a little bit higher. But you're right, that the throw was not behind Bartley by too much.
Well, the neat part about it, that was a great catch out in right field. I believe it was Tyler Greer. Tyler Greer's in center, pardon me. Right field is Carter French, and that was a great catch to keep that at least to only one base anyway.
And then probably you'd say maybe the most dangerous bat in the Baysox lineup now up to bat, and Brian Post got 4 home runs on the year. Last time we were here only had 2, so he's really found his power stroke recently.
Well, he can really swing a bat, and that's going to help. There's a high pitch again.
Has led the NDBL multiple times as the home run leader, led it tied for last year with 6, already at 4. So looking to beat that 6 total he had last year.
Set. Here's the pitch. Oh, there's a drive right into the glove of the center fielder. Tagging up, coming in, going to get a run back is Bartley. Boy, did he ever drive that ball. I didn't think that there was even room to tag it up, but he was back on that bag and gone. And that's what you call it, you use some speed. And boy, that thing was driven out into center field. Post got a lot of the ball, and a great play in center field by Tyler Greer as he just picked that ball up. And the sun's coming in now, too. That's going to affect the play at both at short and left and center field. You can see Greer having his hand over the top of his eyes as he's looking. Baysox get one of those runs back. Cubs leading it 3-1 here. 2 out here at the bottom of the first. Here at Tom Williams Park in Owen Sound, and here's the pitch. Gets a strike call. Van Cedar has a fairly decent batting average too, and
one of the 3 guys a little over 500. Him, Brian Post, and Ryan Bartley. Or actually, pardon me, Ryan McNeil.
Oh, inside, just got away with it.
I think that was technically a curveball because it really hung out there, and Van Cedar kind of leaned away from it because of how wide it started out with, kind of like a sweeping curveball like Rich Hill would throw.
There's another pitch high.
Which I'd say is kind of the problem with throwing a sweeping pitch to a handedness, right-handed batter, right-handed, actually, I guess, pardon me. No, be right-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. So it just cuts right in at him.
There's a drive down the left field line, and it's just going foul. And Van Cedar got a piece of that, but not enough to keep it fair, keep this inning alive. Van Deeling's struggling a little bit out there, too. He said, boy, I tell you, the Owen Sound batters have got the wood on the ball, and had been some really decent defensive plays in the outfield. This game could be different. Here's the pitch. Well, there's a shot. Oh, I told you, the sun caught that one. You could see him struggling with it, and he just sort of got his head out of the way, put his glove up and caught it. That was a great play at shortstop. And I believe number 6, and of course that's Braden Dorian, and boy, he got that glove up. We see that on replay again. You're going to see him get his head out of the way because he wasn't sure whether. The sun plays havoc with the infield, especially third base and short, and sometimes at second, but left field and left center is until the sun starts to get down below the horizon. So And it's nice to see the sun. I'm telling you, it was getting cool. Been a crazy day for weather. It started at 30 degrees and it's dropped off to comfortably right now. You've seen first inning Cubs had 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 on a home run, and no errors. Baysox 1 run on 1 hit, and of course the sacrifice fly. This is a defense for Owen Sound, as you see it come up on your screen, and you're going to see in left field is Robert Doyle. Ryan Bartley, of course, a mainstay at center field. Ryan McNeil, right fielder extraordinaire. These guys play that position so well. Kevin Zettler, Kirk Gibson, third, and shortstop Paul Van Zeter at second base. Brian Post, great stick. He can really hit that ball, and great asset. Nate Kramer is doing the pitching today. He's 1-0. Greg Slater, the veteran in behind the plate, probably one of the best catchers that ever played here in Owen Sound, and good to see him still playing. I don't want to talk about the age, but being able to play and play at the high level that he can is really something. It's fouled out of play, and I hope we got a tent, thank goodness.
Well, I'm not, again, Gordon, like I said last, I'm not sure if that tent's going to save us from a line drive coming right at us, but that ball hit the front light of the truck, and thank goodness that ain't ours, so that's going right back to bury with that dent.
Strike. Number 28, and of course that's Steve Bourget, and he just kind of shakes his head and walks away. He went after a bad pitch. That pitch was out of the strike zone. Kramer gets a strikeout for the first batter he faces.
His second K of the night. That's his 14th on the season. And again, as you said, Gordy, sometimes struggles early in games. He looks a lot more settled in the start of the second inning.
That's true. And strike.
A lot more settled. Like, it almost is like night and day. It feels like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde at this point. Like, he just, even though it's only, what, a batter and 1 pitch,
yeah,
he just looks like a different guy.
Luke Sweet, it just, they bunted it foul. Bader's got to run it down. We don't have bat boys in this league.
Yeah, or bat dogs.
Yeah,
as they do in the minor leagues.
Oh, gosh. That's where you get your exercise when you're a catcher. There's a lot of space behind the plate here at Tom Williams, which is really good for, there's this outside, that pitch. See what Slater calls now, gets the ball set. Can't see the hand, but usually there's Kramer, gets set, delivers, strike 3, 2 in a row on in swinging.
Yeah, it's just a different demeanor, and I guess maybe it just had to be a settle, and I don't know if that's nerves, I don't know if I'll say that's anxiety even, or if that is just that he's got to settle in, but he seems settled, looks settled, now he takes on a pitcher versus pitcher battle.
Dillon coming to the plate. And batting, which is rare these days with even in this division, they choose to go with a DH rather than a...
If you're allowed the universal DH, you might as well try to throw a hitter out there because they're probably better than your pitcher.
There's a strike count, 1-1. Oh.
Unless, in fairness, your pitcher Shohei Ohtani, then yeah, you're going to let him hit.
0-2. Strike 3. 3 straight pitches. Got the count wrong on the first thing. I thought it was 1-1. And the one thing I like about an umpire when you watch minor ball, and I was down in Toronto watching my granddaughter play, and I was really impressed with the young kid that was down there. When an umpire is doing a game, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're going to make mistakes, but they make the call of judgment of their own. But by being loud and letting the fans and the players know what is happening during a game, and you heard Dana, and you could hear that strike 3, and that is so important, so that people know what's going on rather than trying to figure out. And this kid in Toronto was doing it really, really cool, and I thought afterwards, I tell him what a great game he did. And I said, how many guys commented on umpires after? He said, this is the first time. And he's 13 or 14, so my granddaughter's 8, so you figure out what level she's playing at. So it's kind of cool. In Toronto, they got women's baseball. They actually are, it's an all-women's league, and they are playing baseball. So
Well, what happens when you have a lot bigger, I'll say, player base when you're in the GTA with, I'll say, roughly between, I'll say, 5 and 7 million, depending on where you include the GTA starting and stopping. Because I know from, as a country folk here, Gord, I know the GTA for me starts from Hamilton to Oshawa to Brampton. That's all GTA to me. I know from when I lived in the city, that's not true at all. Not true at all.
But the point is, I think it's from Orangeville.
Oh, really?
Or GTA, oh, gosh, yes.
Well, see, exactly. See? Once you get past, Shelburne and Highway 10, it turns into the city for us.
Once it goes the freeway, and then you 4 lanes going down out of Orangeville, then you got it.
Hey, that's my favorite part of the highway, Gork. So you can around all the people that are in my way after Shelburne.
Toronto has this. It's perks and stuff because you can go see hockey, baseball, and whatever, and the football because I enjoy the Argos. But the best thing about Toronto is seeing in the rearview mirror when you're heading back up to the God's country, which is our home sound, and the great people that we have up in this area. So it's so much fun to bring this game to.
Well, sorry, Gord, I don't want to interrupt you. But quickly to mention, you mentioned the sun was playing a factor. All of the guys are basically wearing sunglasses. Now, the shortstop who made that catch, he wasn't wearing glasses and almost got beamed with that catch he made at the end of the first. He's now got sunglasses on. Second base has got sunglasses on. So I see it feels like that the Cubs made the same observation you did and have tried to make that a non-factor.
Well, they're wise, too, because you can see he's putting that glove right up in front of his face so he can see what's happening. Leading off the little bunt. This game's going to stay fair. One foul. Doyle tried to get to first base on a little bunt, and it didn't happen. So number 7 is behind the plate. We're not sure whether that's Ryan or Attenborough, but maybe we'll just call him Ryan Attenborough. How's that make it? Instead of
Well, hyphenate it?
Yeah. Well, what the heck.
I will mention that Doyle's only in his 3rd game, his 8th plate appearance, so very young season for him, but he's hitting pretty well even though with the young
there's
split.
A drive right into right field on the ground. Going to get one base out of it for sure. That's a good start for this inning to get a runner on, none out. That's what you wanted. You wanted to get that. Now you're going to see where these guys. Don's going to send the runners, and.
Well, now, Gord, you're going to see the guy that led last year in average and on-base percentage in Kurt Gibson, who has really struggled this year. For Kurt Gibson's standard at playing the D3 division ball at Owens Community College, there's a high-level standard with Kurt Gibson, and it hasn't hit it yet this year.
There's a ball on the first pitch. Every time I hear Kurt Gibson, I think L.A. It's kind of needed. I shouldn't say that, but it's quite a name that he's carrying, even though it's his own. Good eye. There's another ball. 2-0 on the count. Top of the bottom of the 2nd inning. Bayshore down. Baysox down 3-1. Here comes the pitch outside. 3-0. Thielen did really well in that first inning and just only gave up the 1 run. Now he's struggling out on the mound as he gave up a single on the first batter he faced, and now he's on first base. 3-0 count. Oh, check swing. And they're going to give him the base. Kurt gets the base.
Yeah, it looks like it caught him, and you can kind of see him shaking the hand there. So obviously, he's gave him a little bit of a sting. And now the most potent bat in the second half of the lineup is Zettler, normally in left field, playing right tonight, or usually in left, playing third tonight. So we'll see what Zettler can do here in his first at bat.
Getting set. Camera angles are trying to figure out. So Zettler just waits it off.
Again, kind of fainting bunt. Not completely surprised, but it's definitely an interesting strategy by the Baysox here, trying to move guys around.
Well, they're down a couple of runs, so they want to get some. They've got one in scoring position right now. They want to move it a little bit faster so that he's on third base. There you're going to see looking, running. I thought he was going. Good play by Attenberg, Ryan Attenberg, as he kept that ball in front of him so that he could make that play. Settler sat at the plate, dealing ready to throw that pitch. Looks back, covers the runner. There's a little fake bunt again.
He got the strike call, and again, I don't think Settler's bat was above the plate, so I think that's an actual strike call, which I don't think Settler's going to like because he brought the bat back. And usually when you're bunting, you have a pretty good tell of where the strike zone is. Usually.
True enough, I agree with you. Settler, again. There's the bunt, and it's a good one. Down, advances the runners out at first base. Runners move to second and third. And that's exactly textbook. That's exactly what he wanted to have. Now they got a runner in on third base, and Don Bartley, one of the smartest managers in the league, and he's been around baseball a long time. So I like that kind of play, small ball. Play the big game.
And think about it, Gord. A single here could score because Kirk Gibson's got wheels. He's fast. So a single could score 2 and tie this ball game. So you're right. That's a great, smart play by the organization.
Slater's looking for got a strike calls. That ball curved and got in over the plate. Slater, the veteran, getting set with the bat. There comes a pitch by Thielen. Thielen has it. But pitch is high and outside.
Yeah, again, control seemingly the issue again for the pitcher for the Cubs. Saw that last time they were here. I believe it was 10 or 11 walks given up by Mansfield. The reason why they lost just about. And you see there again, that sweeping curveball. It's a great pitch against lefties. Against a righty, it comes right in at them, and they're always going to duck their head at it because it's going to come right at them.
He didn't get it's great to throw it. If you're going to throw it at the guy, throw it. But at least have it come back across the plate. And another ball. He called strike on that. 2-2. I was surprised at that call. But, again, there's a shot, and it's going to go foul. Slater a little bit out in front of that one. Don Bartley said good shot.
Outfield, June 4. Infield, looking back.
Gibson at second base. Have a look. He gets out of the screen. Slater again. Strike 3.
And he liked that one too. Yeah. Right the moment he swung, he thought he had it, and he just waved over it. And now it is the DH, the 9-hole hitter for the Baysox, the other Bartley.
Yeah, but his batting average too. You can't sneeze at either. This. High pitch.
And I gotta be honest, you know, the guys, they have out the walk-up songs. And I'm not sure if you heard it there on the mics, but that was the Indiana Jones theme song. Even though I haven't seen the movies, but I recognize the tune.
Well, you should watch the Indiana Jones movies. Should watch the Indiana Jones movies. I don't think I said it correctly the first time.
You want to make sure you enunciate every syllable?
You have to sometimes.
I do too.
Bartley at the plate. Thielen getting ready to deliver. Whoa, he went after a bad pitch on that one. That was a ball from the word go.
And that's basically where you want that sweeping curveball. You want it basically in the dirt, and you want it to look like it's going to catch that bottom corner and then the bottom fall out of it. You don't want it to start at basically the numbers of the batter and it come all the way back, because it could. It's just unlikely. You see right there. That's basically what you want it to do. You want it to cut outside of the hands and basically completely fall off the table.
That curveball's third time in a row.
Well, I mean,
so you're going to throw it again?
Well, if they keep swinging at it, Gord, you might as well keep going throwing it, because the guys keep swinging at it and they keep thinking they can hit it, and then the bottom falls out of that pitch and they just start swinging at air.
Well,
Look, look like they're shooting their golf shot there, Gord.
true enough. Ryan Bartley sitting on deck, and there's a foul by.
Looks like he tried to blow that one by him. But again, Gord, honestly, if Bartley can get on bag, back at the top of the order for the Baysox, which again is very advantageous because that's one of their top 4 hitters in Ryan Bartley, the other Bartley.
Yes, the other. Nice play by
What?
Attenberg as he managed to smother that ball and save possibly a run.
Yeah, we'll say it's Attenborough because of what the sheet says. That was a great block by Attenborough. That ball goes any farther, you're probably losing a run. Because I assume Doyle's going, because he almost went regardless, and Attenborough did a great job of keeping that ball in front.
I think you're right about it. I think it is Attenborough. The number is correct. The name may not be.
See, again, they really wanted it. You saw Kirk Gibson. Okay, Doyle got maybe 4 steps from third base. Kirk Gibson was over halfway to third base, which again just shows the confidence in the speed of the guy on second base right now in Kirk Gibson, as he was almost touching third base before that catcher even had possession of that ball. So you really want to get that guy to third base, which means you got to be able to find a way to get Doyle in, to be able to get this game close to tied, if not tied.
There's a ball.
What a battle! What a battle by the Baysox.
Now we've got the top of the order, and you talk about Ryan Bartley. His batting average well over 500, and that means that 2 times he goes to the plate, he hits. So out of every 4, so that's quite a batting average. But we're going to see what happens with the bases loaded here at the bottom of the 2nd inning. And here's a chance for the Baysox to get back into this game. Ball inside.
And again, honestly, Gord, a walk is not as valuable as a single because it should score more. But a walk is very advantageous for the Baysox.
Well, right now they've got 2 outs, so 1-1 count. I thought that ball was out of the strike zone, but again, 2. I'm watching it from a different angle, so you don't see it. Bartley set. Teal gets set again, having struggling this inning. Throws it outside. There's the... And it was it throws it outside, and the ball got hit in a long way, too.
And you know, it's sad, Gord, I think Ryan Bartley just got under it. I think he made contact, and he made pretty good contact, as you mentioned, but he just got under it. That ball skied, and it ended up being a nice play for Greer in center field with no sun playing a factor. It basically went right to him.
Well, the clouds are coming in a little bit. I just hope necessarily that doesn't mean that we're going to get any.
And you see there on your screen, I mentioned that Bolton and Owen Sound had a game postponed most recently. So again, why that would have been a big game? Well, Bolton's #1 right now in the division with 10 wins and only 2 losses. Obviously, you see there, Gord, Owen Sound in 3rd place with 1 tie, while the Astros have 2 ties, so they have 1 extra point on them. And you also see there, Creamore's got three ties, so you change those into wins, they're now 2nd. So obviously they'd like to kind of change their tune, but you also see by the points that there are 4 teams tied at 15, 1 team at 16, and you see Barrie there with 13. So still very gridlocked in the middle of the pack, still here in the NDBL.
Being a traditionalist, I don't like to see the ties. I would like to see them go into extra innings, but not necessarily go into 3, 4, and 6, 7, 8. Just a maximum that they have 2 innings extra time, because it doesn't take that, and then see if you can make that decision within 2 innings. 9 times out of 10, the tying runs are scored in the 10th.
See, and I wish hockey went back to the tie, because I don't hate it. Because if people are going to complain about overtime and trying to figure out how we're going to do it, if it's 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, how long, if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then the shootout, which no one likes except for me. I love the shootout. So if you're going to advocate for no shootout and continuous overtime, I just like call it a tie. Just, save the guys' legs, get them on the plane, and call it a tie, and give them the point you would for the overtime loss. Just give them the point, and then everyone can get on the plane and go home.
The only time overtime should happen is
in playoffs.
In playoffs.
Exactly. So give them a tie in hockey, just like baseball. Give them the tie. makes you want to win more. Makes later decisions in the ball game way more important because you don't have that ploy of being able to kind of take it to overtime, take it to the next point. You have to play for that moment because you're not going to get anything else.
That's
in my opinion.
Well, it's very sound. It's amazing that you've got so many different things happening in the baseball that, and whatnot with the extra innings and stuff, especially in this league. And I'd like to see the extra, at least one or two. And you're right about one thing. Nothing wrong with having a tie because both teams have played well. So that philosophy is not
It's not completely flawed.
No, I don't think so. I think what you're saying is very true. So, which means my theory doesn't hold water.
Well, no, it's just a difference in philosophy.
Yeah. Kramer, 1-1 on this batter.
He's kind of struggling again like he did in that first. Guess he got under the second a little too fast there with the 3 strikeouts.
Well, he's been sitting a while too.
That's what I mean. Maybe his second inning for number 2 was a little too quick, sitting basically everybody down within 4 or 5 pitches.
Ball again, behind on the count, 3-1.
Yeah, and you see there, and again, I don't know if that's just a reset, is rubbing up the ball, or if that is maybe a grip problem, if he's just not able to grip the ball where he wants to. But there's something going on the mound right now.
He loses the batter, and Kramer's not happy about that. And I'm wondering about his arm too.
And I'd ask for a new ball.
You see?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna ask him for a new ball because again, he's rubbing it up. And again, I will say one more time, I don't know if that is just a mental tick or if that is a grip problem. If he's just not able to get enough tack on the ball. But regardless, he just can't seem to find the strike zone again in this 3rd inning, which was a problem in the 1st.
Well, Greer's up to play. We know what Greer did the last time he was up. Inside pitch. Kramer having trouble finding the plate here in the top 3rd. Now he gets a strike call right at the knees. 1-1 in the count. Runner at first. Throw over to first base, not in time.
Again, I think he's just trying to keep the runners honest as Nate Kramer because he knows that that's the side he can't see. As a righty, the first base is where you can't see, unlike a lefty where you can't see 3rd base.
There's a cut foul ball into the dirt.
Hey, and that's probably the best result for Nate Kramer is to get the foul ball because now the runner can't advance. If it's just a strike, a swinging strike, that's a free bag. Because the foul ball, you still get that swinging strike, and the runner doesn't get to advance 90 feet. So that was probably perfect, you'd argue, for Nate Kramer.
Oh, it was a great pitch, too. So he got what he wanted. He got the strike. He's ahead of the hitter. Kramer gets set. There's a shot down to second base. Just got by. The second baseman got right out into center field, and they're going to score a run on this. And that was one of those seeing eye grounders, and it just got by.
Yeah.
Post.
It beat everybody. It beat Van Cedar as he was running to the second base to try to hit the runner because he saw the runner going and thought just in case it was a throw. And then he tried to plant, slid, ball goes right by him, and then it bops by Bartley. So skips by 2 different guys. So I think that's in the stat sheet as a double. I'm not sure if they're going to get Bartley in the air.
Well, but no, there was no error on that because Bartley was shaded to the left-hand side, and to get back to that because he was shading the hitters as power hitter hitting up to the wall in left field. So that's what he was. So when he didn't have time to get back to that thing coming through the outside of second base, so they get a run on it. Mansfield up 4-1 on that hit by Greer. Only gets a single out of it. There's a shot, and it's foul. Got to run after those foul balls. The budget only allows lose one a game.
Yeah. The ball's the bucket's running out, guys. The bucket's running out. We got to make sure we replenish.
Kramer gets set.
And as JC said last time, I'm not sure if Canadian Tire's open right now to be able to go get some replacements.
Shot right down to second. A shortstop. There's the throw across, and got it. Post picks it on it but the runner advances to second base.
And that was a lot better throw from Kirk Gibson. That was basically perfect to Brian Post. He reset. It was a nice power, nice height, basically exactly where you want it. So, again, that just shows that Kirk Gibson knows exactly what he's got to do. Very talented ball player, fielding and hitting. It just hasn't clicked yet. And when it does click, it's not an if, Gordon. It's a when it clicks for Kirk Gibson. This Baysox team is going to get even more dangerous, which I think should be worrying for the top of the top right now for the Brewers and the Astros.
Well, I think that Gibson is doing as well, is doing extremely well. So, I mean, if he's going to get better, boy, that's going to be it. And they're going to lose a run on a pass ball on the pitch. And Slater picked it up. You can tell that he's taking the blame for that, and I'm not sure that's the case. Greer heads in, drives in a run, scores a run. Not a bad inning. Well, Mansfield up 5-1. Owen Sound. It's only second inning, and with their power, they can come back, and they loaded the bases in the last inning. So fly ball. Center field. That was well struck to the wall. Coming back into second base. Oh, that was quite a throw.
Yeah, and again, Bartley did what I used to do when I played minor softball. I skipped the cutoff completely and threw it right to the bag, and he almost got him with it, but it was a one-hopper in the end.
Mattenberg only got a single out of that, or got a double out of that, pardon me, and barely got that. They're going to change the runner up because he's the catcher.
Yeah, and he hit the homer in the first inning that made it 3-0. And that ball, I said, I thought it was also going out. That was going to be his second home run of the game on his second at-bat of the game.
Well, that's one of the deepest parts of the ballpark, and that ball was struck long. And the 2 runs in this inning for the one on a pass ball, I don't know whether to give him an error or pass ball. I thought...
Well, I think it's just a pass ball in the end. I don't think that would technically count as an error. But again, as we're not official scorers, I don't think you and I have an official opinion.
Inside pitch by Kramer.
And Kramer would have wanted that one.
Bryan up to the bat. Very unique batting helmet, too. Oh, got a pitch on that one. Got the strike call. Kramer back, gets set. Runner at second base starting to move. He's going to move on any contact. 2 out. Ball inside. 2-2 count.
But yeah, Kramer's kind of gone back to that first inning struggle, so I'm not again sure if it's ball or if it is just him not being able to locate. Because again, that second inning just showed us what Nate Kramer is capable of with 3 strikeouts on roughly 12 to 13 pitches. So,
that was number. The other thing too, he sat for so long because of the next inning, and then he never, that. I don't think that should probably have that much, but you sit too long, and also things start to tighten up a bit. Everything changes. There's the pitch. Strike. Fouled it off. Still alive. 2-2 count. Foul, strike.
And I hit something. I'm not sure what it hit, but it hit something. I think it hit the fence, to be honest.
Well, I hope.
Or it might have actually been the school, actually, is when I just heard it thump against, which it is insurance, so we're good to go.
Well, I know.
Hopefully the principal of Kendall Sarawak.
In this ball diamond, Speedy was glad to see me one day. Because he got ball fouled out and right through the windshield.
What a play by Nate Kramer.
Kramer made a play bouncing off that ball, on the squibber coming from the...
That is 2 perfect plays by Kramer. The pitch, perfect in on the hands, hit basically the bottom of the bat, which is why it shot out basically at him. Then to be able to get that ball, because you saw it as he came up, it looked like. The ball was like right at the top of his glove, so he just picked that ball out of the dirt to be able to get rid of that to Brian Pose. So that was a great play by Kramer, both on that pitch and on that out. So he gets himself out of some trouble, and obviously he leaked a couple more runs now to 5-1 in favor of the Cubs going into bottom of the third. And again, the offensive struggles we've seen from the Baysox here in Owen Sound. They had an 11-run win against, or 11-run outing in their most recent game against Aurelia, an 11-5 win. So we all know this Baysox team has it. They just have not had it, it feels like, at home in a minute. So hopefully they can get it going here in the bottom of this third inning with their top of the order. You see their McNeil, their 2-hitter, up to bat.
Well, 5-4 with 5 runs on 4 hits, as you can see on your screen. The Baysox have got 1 run on 2 hits. And due up is McNeil and Post and Van Cedar in that order. Dana Saunders getting ready to get everybody in. Cookie's not to his batter's box yet, so.
Come in.
McNeil going to take his spot right at the top part of this order, and of course Bartley was in the last inning. But they got to get the bats going and get started, and because Thielen hasn't been, Van Dielen, pardon me, has not been
Dealing.
Yeah, as good as. There's a shot fouled out to the fence here, directly in front of our little booth. Well, we haven't needed the roof for sunlight anyway, so.
Or rain, which is very nice.
Yeah, they look after us good at Rogers, don't they?
I mean, when we got the truck, it feels like paradise.
Yeah, true enough. Bringing this live to your homes. Thank you, folks, for tuning in and that are watching this game here on Rogers TV.
Or if you're watching this after the game and you just wanted to get a second look at it.
True enough, or you're streaming. That's the new thing for an old guy like me. This streaming.
See, I forgot that's a new thing. I'm kind of thinking streaming's been a thing, Gord, but it is a new thing. You're right. You're right. I will humble myself and say that's a new thing. You're right.
Well, it's new to us old guys. There's a shot. Into right field, off the glove. Gonna get 2 out of this. Is he gonna go for 3? Could have made it too at his speed.
I think he got told both and decided to hold up to be safe. And, in a situation like this, Gord, you're down by 4 early in a game, only in the third inning of 7, you probably stay.
He was watching Don and Bartley, and Bartley held him up.
Which is smart. And again, when you got Brian Post behind you, who's known for hitting nukes, you might as well sit on second base and see if Brian can put one in the seats.
Oh, true enough.
Put one in Gord's backyard.
Yeah, we've had 1 or 2 back there.
This year?
No, over the years, not a lot. It's a fair distance away, but it's 2 houses, lots before facing on the back. But yeah, they've got them in a couple of the backyards.
Well, at least you haven't needed to replace any windows in the house.
Well, the neat thing about a ball game going up here, but around in this area, Post at the plate. Oh, catcher wanted something more than that.
He's really trying to get that. I'll say that's basically a slider more than it is like the looping curveball. He's just trying to get it located on that far corner. They just haven't been able to locate it.
There's a shot, and it's foul. Down the line, too, boy. Well, the outfielder's going to go get it. Now, one thing about it, this has been a gorgeous part of the neighborhood for a long time, and watching the games and stuff like that. But when the lights are on, it tracks all the bugs.
Yes, it does.
And you can sit out in your backyard, you can have a beer and not be bothered about where I live. But it's true. You know that when those lights are on, there's a ball game up here, and a lot of the neighbors have wandered around, come and watch the games, and go for a walk around the block. So it's been part of the neighborhood for a long time, and Post still alive at the plate. Count 2-2. And it certainly is nice to come back and do a game. I spent a little bit of time between those fences and enjoyed it immensely with minor ball. And we had a couple of pretty good teams in 2 years that I coached. try.
Oh, and I know Mansfield would have Mansfield would have wanted that one. That one looked really nice. I'm not sure if that was just a great frame job by Attenborough or if that did catch the back court of the plate, but it was close.
I thought it was a strike. There's a shot down into short. Picked up when the glove, throwed it down. You're going to get post. Doesn't have great speed, but did advance the runner.
And honestly, that was almost a perfect infield hit because it was so chopping and so slow. And the third baseman / shortstop had to converge on it. The third baseman was able to make the play and make the throw. But, you know, that's almost a perfect infield hit there for Post, who almost beat it out.
Oh, that was a great hit. Van Dielen, and an even better play by the shortstop. You know, that kind of, I believe it's Nicholson that's playing short, and to get that ball on the move, pick it up in his glove, get it out, get it to first base. Now, grant you, Post isn't known for his speed, but you still have to make that kind of play, and I think that there's a foul and out of play. Got to watch the traffic as you're taking the.
Well, you never want to be that one kid to run in front of a car that doesn't see you coming, who's just going driving to their house or whatever's going on over here.
Well, usually most people are pretty
mindful?
Yes.
Well, you gotta be around places like playgrounds and ball diamonds and
well, there's
such.
school zones, so the speed limit still applies even though there's no kid in school. So if the lights are on, you take it easy. We watch what's happening.
Again, that ball in the dirt, Attenborough's able to block it, so McNeil doesn't get the free run, but still, you have that danger, you think, for Attenborough, that if that ball gets any real farther away from him, McNeil's going to go.
Well, Van Zeter's at the plate. McNeil on third base. You get to see him get set. There is only one out. There's a shot. Down right field, going to drive in a run. Van Zeter's going to make it to first base, but out any trouble at all.
And now Doyle will come up to bat with only one out. They got the run that they needed. And now you've got Van Zeter on first base, so we'll see what works out now.
Well, Cook was talking to him, so basically, we're going to see what's going to happen. They're going to advance that runner, or they're going to give up the hitter, or they're just going to... There's a fly ball into foul territory, running it down. 3 guys, and nobody got it.
And again, Gord, that's kind of where you want somebody to call it. And again, I don't particularly care which one of them. It looks like the pitcher Van Dielen should have called it. But, you know, when you see 3 guys like that converging, you just always close your eyes and go, please don't collide, please don't collide.
You know what? The mistake that was made is a pitcher should have stayed right on the mound. Should have let the shortstop, let first base, or the catcher get that ball. And what it basically did, he put in the third factor, and then nobody got it. I believe first base should have had that ball, but he had to think about 2 things. He could see Van Dielen coming at him. So that was a mistake. The pitcher should not even have been involved in that play. I mean, that's my humble opinion, but there's another foul ball.
Well, and you're probably not the only one who feels that way, Gord, about, you know, that guys should be a little more mindful when they're on the mound, that unless the ball is basically on top of your mound, and even sometimes when it's on top of the mound, they'll let the third baseman come over and track it, or the second baseman or shortstop make their way onto the rubber and come catch the ball if they feel like that's needed. Because again, they, no offense, have a trust to your glove, because they're, you know, that's what they're here to do, is catch the ball and make sure guys are out, not the pitcher who's just here to make pitches.
0-2 on the count right now, 2 away. Owen Sound picked up a run on this inning, and it has shortened the score to 5-2. Another fly ball in foul territory. And dropped by the first baseman. Had trouble tracking that down.
He kept slicing away from it, looked like, and he just couldn't seem to get under it. But again, there you mentioned it. Van Dielen only went to, I think, cover first base just in case. So Van Dielen was not a factor, and a almost make there from the Cubs.
Bourget is playing first base, so that's twice now that he's been in on foul balls and put that alive. Just couldn't get his glove to it.
Ooh.
That hurts.
I'm not sure where that caught him, because I heard side and knee. I thought it was a little bit lower on the calf, but regardless, those don't feel too nice, Gord. Those don't feel too nice.
No, he's still staying in the... Question is, can he run?
Well, more walk
We're
to
gonna watch
first
the
base.
pitch. Yep. Right on the top. That hurts him. That's one. Right. Yeah.
He turned right into it. I thought it was a lot lower than that. I thought it was mid-calf. No, you're right. That hit right off the top of the knee, and he bent away from it, so it hit basically right on bone, and that is not nice.
No, he's
Not nice.
running out down first base. They're taking a little run down towards the right field foul pole,
And again, Gord, with that, you know, that now gives 2 runners on bag for Kirk Gibson. So again, just extending the inning for the Baysox and a chance to add some more runs, try to bring this game back to even or at least close.
Kurt Gibson is the shortstop tonight. Called a strike.
And it looks like the Owens Community College current player just didn't like that high pitch.
Well, we're sitting at a different angle, but I was wondering about that one too. So another low, slow curve. Caught the strike zone.
And again, Gibson hasn't liked either of those 2 strike calls. So we'll see if they stay up here.
Second one was just a lazy curveball to come right in over the top and into the strike zone, into the dirt. Runners on first and second. Gibson has an opportunity to drive in a run.
I think you saw there Attenborough kind of came out, because I think Van Cedar was still off the bag. And again, he was just forcing Van Cedar to go tag up, or he has to go make a play.
Get set, Thielen. Van Thielen, pardon me. I know you. High pitch.
And again, that's where Kirk Gibson's probably thinking, well, if that was basically where the last 2 were, and I let them both go. Because again, he was the OBP leader. The guy knows where the strike zone is, knows how to walk.
Well, true, but still, that curveball was in the strike zone. No, he was looking for the same thing. It was down and away. And that...
Yeah, good job there by Gibson to get rid of that lead hand, let that bat stay on his shoulder and let it go.
Important thing, count's gone to 3-2 is full, and now... Nope.
Oh, and Kirk Gibson let that one go. I'm surprised. He kind of checked at it, didn't swing. The check was very inside. Okay, see there, Attenborough having a little conversation with the home plate umpire, thinking that ball wasn't inside, that it was over the plate. Which again, hey, that's what you want as a pitcher. You want your catcher to kind of vouch for you with the umpire. Be like, hey, I didn't even frame that much. That ball was on the plate.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that ball was...
It was close for sure.
It was a ball. I'm gonna... No, that's a ball too.
That's a great block by Attenborough.
Yes, that saved a run.
It definitely saved one, for sure.
The reason why I was saying I think that Attenborough is the name of the player because they have to have a lineup exactly correct when they start the game. So that's who it is, even though Ryan's on the back of his jersey. There's a shot right back to the...
We had the same rule in
base.
soccer. Oh, no. And that is definitely going to be an E. That's going to be an E if I can count, Gord. I believe that will be an E4.
It is, because he had that ball. I thought the inning was over, and he fumbled that ball, and of course with the speed, everybody got through, and a great play to get down the line too, even though everybody was moving because there's 2 out. So that worked well for everybody. So they got a run, got on 2 back. There's a shot into the dirt. Another run's going to score.
And Gibson's going to think about it, which again is when you want Kirk Gibson on the field is when you got a chance to put him on third base and let him take home.
Well, there could be a...
So quickly, Gord, it went from 5-2 to now 5-4.
Well, a couple of errors cost them, and that'll do it every time. It doesn't matter what level of baseball you play, whether it's NCAA, whether it's pro. You make 2 errors in an inning, it's gonna cost you somewhere. There's Slater looking for the pitch, ball in the dirt.
That's 0-2 now with those 2 runs. Again, now you've got second and third with 2 outs still. 2-0 count. Slater at bat. a single can score 2 and take the lead for the Baysox. So we came into this inning down 5-1.
And Slater can hit too. There's no reason.
But honestly, you could say, Gord, that a walk is actually advantageous because now it's out any bag. If Slater hits a single, you got to get the force at first because Gibson or Zettler can just stay on the bag and you're stuck. Or they could go and you can try to tag them. But if they walk Slater, then it's still bases juice, which is not what you want, but now at least you have a force any bag. So if it's a ground ball, regardless of where that ground ball goes, the inning should be over.
Oh, you're right. I mean, that's true. But also, too, is if Slater's going to hit it, he's got to hit it good. There's the shot. And it looks like it's going to be out of play.
And I will mention, I believe that the scorebook says, too, I believe that is the second out. I wasn't 100% sure yet, so I wanted to wait. I believe that is now the second out. So, with that being said, now you still got Kirk Gibson on third base. And now you got the 9-hole hitter, the DH Bartley up to bat. So, again, any knock outside into any grass most likely will score some runs.
Well, it has to be on the green, and there's no doubt about it that's where it's got to be. There's a butt out.
Kind of like when you drive a ball, Gord, 'cause I know you're a golf guy. You know, when you drive the ball, you want to hit the green. Obviously, it's not always attainable, but you always want to hit the green.
True enough.
Keep it out of the rough stuff.
Well, this is rough.
Yes, it is. We've seen some pass balls already because of some rough hops.
1-1 count here at the bottom of the third inning.
Attenborough's
The
checking
Sound
something.
Baysox have come back and come within 1 run of the Cubs, and a couple errors have cost them. Some smart base running by the Baysox. Foul ball off his foot, those hurt too, but doesn't seem any worse for wear. 1-2 count, 2 out. Van Deelen struggling a bit in this inning too, but ball. 2-2.
And again, great job by Bartley. Last time he was up to bat, he walked, and he battled back from 0-2 to get that walk. So again, he's basically doing the same thing here.
Good eye on the ball, get the bat on it, it's gonna score a run too. Oh, should have let it hit him. Backed out of the batter's box.
Gord, you're not allowed to intentionally let it hit you. You gotta try to get out of the way. That's at least the theory.
Oh.
And he's not wearing a lot of protective equipment, so I'd also probably move to the area of caution and get out of the way.
It's only a little ball, only about 2.5 inches of bruise.
We call it a hard ball for a reason, Gord. And what a pitch to end the inning. Great slider, gets himself out of a jam, and that was a hefty jam with Kirk Gibson standing on third base, ready to go.
Van Deelen had to get that out, and that was really, really important. And because it looked bleak for that team at this particular, in that part of the inning. But a 3-up, 3-down inning could help them right now and get right back on the field, because primarily the top of their order comes in next inning. So
exactly, they start off at the leadoff hitter, start off the fourth inning. You see there though, the Cubs still up by 1, so they still have the advantage. Kramer comes out for the top of the fourth inning, and I want to mention, Gord, quick out-of-town scoreboard. Canada versus Argentina at the Copa America in the U.S. 0-0 at halftime at the Copa, and that is European football, or soccer as we call it here, Gord. For Team Canada versus Argentina.
The only thing that interests me about that is the fact it's Team Canada.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned it. That's why I mentioned it. I mentioned it because it's Canada at the Copa in the opening game of the Copa America, which is the third biggest tournament in the world, behind only the Euros, which is also going on right now in Germany, and the World Cup, which will be in Canada in 2028. And as the great Mark Perry just told in my ear, which I did know, we mentioned it on Sports Wrap, the reigning world champs are the Argentines. They won the most recent World Cup, so down in Qatar in 2022. So again, it's a big game for Canada. So a point against Argentina in their opening game is very advantageous for the Canadians under new head coach Jesse March. Oh, Gord, I love European football. Football is one of my absolute favorite sports to watch. I was trying to find a stream to put it on just so I could kind of scoreboard watch, because I love football.
That's obvious.
Both kinds.
That's obvious.
I love both kinds of football.
That's I'm speechless. I'm not very often speechless, but I am. Well, at the risk of getting in trouble with Mark, I will not say anything derogatory about soccer.
That's probably a good idea because he was picking me up while I was doing it.
Well, I'll tell you, when it gets to be important and Canada's playing, I do have an interest. I'll tell you, one of the best soccer games I ever witnessed were the women's winning the gold medal, and watched that game, and could never be more prouder of our Canadian women in a sport that I knew absolutely nothing about. And I can't remember the goaltender's name, but I knew that she was probably the reason why they won that gold medal in the Olympics. And see what happens. They'll be the defending team this summer, so it should be fun. So watch that.
And a great play there by Bartley in center field.
One out as Bartley catches the ball. As we were talking about soccer here in Canada, which there's so many people playing it, and the kids actually enjoy it. My biggest problem is I don't understand it, and I have never got used to it.
Gord, I promise you and I for a half hour, I could get you so into European football.
You're the first person that's one to say that, and they said that, and but generally, you know, I mean, the kids play it, and our kids in this country are getting better and better. They're starting to show on the world stage, and you can see that by the score you just announced. So that's kind of cool. I wish them all the best. And Argentina, yeah, you're right. They've been a world power for years, and not knowing anything about football, as you call it. I've known that for a while.
And another great pitch there by Kramer. It seems like evens and odds right now, Gord. He seems to struggle on the odd innings and be really good in the evens because he had a great second inning. He's had a great fourth inning.
Well, right now he's got 2 outs, and the trouble with Kramer is he's got to, you know, somehow he's got to, well, you know, try and figure out how to get rid of that Jekyll and Hyde syndrome. There's a shot at shortstop. Kurt picks it up. Gibson throws it to first. Ends that inning 3 up, 3 down. 4th inning done and in the books.
Put it on a string. It was a laser from Kirk Gibson at shortstop. I couldn't have been prouder of that throw. And yes, I do have a gun at being 5'4". The one thing I could do, Gord, was field. I can't hit a lick. But you give me a glove, you give me a ball, I can throw.
Well, there was a time that I said I could hit the ball, but now it's...
Well, you can still hit the ball, just in golf.
Oh, yeah.
The ball doesn't move.
Oh, it's fun. I haven't got the cobble yet this year, but I will be getting there thanks to Rogers.
Yes, during volunteer week, we had our big birthday, or big bash, I'll say, at Rick Olmsted's down in Hepworth, and I got my 5-year plaque, which I so happily was awarded, Gord.
I'm really pleased with that, but the thing is that you got yours in person, mine got mailed.
Well, Gord, it's not our fault you showed up about 2 hours late, okay? You showed up fashionably late. Almost like me today. You showed up fashionably late.
Yeah. I think this is my 37th year. I just want to let you know that, so.
Oh, so I think you're third right now behind, I think Rick is just above you, and I believe right now the record holder for most years with Rogers TV as a volunteer is Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, it's Paul Van Wyck.
It's a possibility.
I believe it was either 40 years or just a little bit below that as a volunteer.
You know, folks, if you get it, if you guys really think about it, and folks out there want a little bit different volunteer job, this is an unbelievable thing to be involved with because it's a little left of center. It's not some of the volunteer things that you do normally, but it gives you an opportunity to see what happens behind the scenes in a television broadcast and media, and after a time, you find yourself becoming. I look around the league when I watch hockey every Saturday night, and we see these games coming in, and there isn't a better crew in Rogers TV that exists here in Owen Sound. And I'm not saying that because my heart's here. I'm saying that because it's factual.
Well, as a member of that crew, regardless if I'm on the air or hiding in the control room with the great Mark Perry, I would have to agree with you, Gordon. I like to think you do a pretty bang-up job.
And it's better, and before I retire, I would like to at least do one attack game, which would be kind of cool because to be part of that crew, but that team. I think it's one of the best, and we get to do all kinds of games and stuff. And minor hockey program I'm really proud of with Owen Sound with Rogers TV and with Weekend in the Rink. I've been watching it, been involved in that for a number of years, and very proud of that program. There's a shot out into right field. Good start.
And
it's out of the park.
Yeah, he crushed that ball to right field. Ryan Bartley, the leadoff hitter, his third trip up. He ties the game with a solo shot. That before a ball hit the, looks like Burgundy House, as you see there on your screen, as he labeled that one. And again, he really kind of got under it, but he just killed it. And you see there, tracking it, and it is gone. So big hit there to start off the fourth inning, Gordon. All of a sudden, we 5-1 just, an inning ago, and now it is 5-5 here in the bottom of fourth with no out.
The key part of that was the two errors in the last inning, and because the Cubs had played very well up to that point. They gave us a couple of hits, and you end up with the runners on base. But I'm telling you, they made those two errors, and the error is second base, and then the pass ball. That cost them 2 runs, and now you see there's a game change already here in the fourth inning. The bottom of the fourth. Oh, big cut by McNeil. He got around it. That looked like that ball. He wanted to hit that one out of the park. But McNeil again. There's a shot. Short. Picked up. Long throw. Out of it. Gonna pick up. Gonna get to third base. Boy, he took a big turn.
We got a camera right there, so I'd love to be able to get a chance to relook at that if we had a good angle of it, because I want to see, because it looked at first like he got a hold of it and was going to place a pretty good throw, and then he just kind of let it go, and all of a sudden that ball goes 4 feet wide, and that's an extra bag there for McNeil on, I believe, technically a single plus an error, and I believe that's error 5, an E5.
Yeah.
Hey, you see right here, yeah, he just airmailed that one, just sent it way too far inside for a second, and no chance at it.
Look at that. How far down the line McNeil was, and I thought, reaching out was post on a bad play, on a bad pitch, caused himself a strike.
I believe, well, that'd be second error. Okay, second. You're welcome, sorry.
First pitch. Sets deal. There's a pass ball, and it sends a runner to McNeil, hits at third base. Another bad pitch. Attenborough had trouble squeezing that one. Van Dillen might be feeling the effects of pitching 4 innings and getting a little tired.
Well, he's only pitched 1 inning in one game, so he has not pitched a whole lot this year. So, again, just got to kind of get your arm acclimated to being able to handle that kind of volume.
Well, they don't have a number of, they've only got 11 players here, so looking at the score sheet, Lance Bryan and Emerson Pendleton are the reserves, so I don't know who they would bring in to pitch. There's a swing and a miss.
Postman after that slider again and let it go, but now only the first out of the inning as Van Cedar will now come up for his third chance to hit. He ended up scoring in the previous inning as he looks to try to give Owen Sound their first lead of the night.
Van Dillen gets set, looks at the count, looks at the hand, look for the signal. There's a hit down third base. Gonna run him down at third.
And they're in pickle, and they got him.
Yep, they got him, and that's the third out of the inning.
No, it's not. And Van Cedar didn't know it. So that is the end of the inning.
Van Cedar didn't know the time. Bartley hasn't turned around to say something to him either yet, so.
Maybe they all thought it was 3 outs, but yeah, that's an error by Van Cedar on the base paths, and as you see there, I believe that is the moon making its making itself known here as the night starts, or the day starts turning into night. And I will give a little quick scoreboard update, Gord. Argentina did find their breakthrough. Julian Alvarez gets the goal. It's now 1-0 Argentina in the 50th minute. I'm a little disappointed in the goalkeeping from Canada, but it is okay. I have a little bit of faith that they'll be able to find one, at least one, against Argentina in the opening game of the Copa.
What amazes me is the fact that you're multitasking. I didn't know that's a talent I didn't realize that you had.
I gotta have it, you know. I gotta sometimes hang out in the control room and do some of this, do some of that. You know, I gotta kind of jump around. So.
See some of the. There's Brown there down the line talking to some of his fans, I guess.
Well, I know a couple of those guys.
Yeah, well, doesn't surprise me. Looks like number 20. Van Wyck is getting warmed up to come into the game if Kramer falters this inning. But a 5-5 tie, and we're into the 5th inning, top of 5. Mansfield had the Cubs. They were up 5-1. You know, and Sound has come back and make this 5-5, and now it's a whole new ball game. First pitch of the inning, into the dirt. Kramer.
And as the great Mark Perry just mentioned in my ear, it's now the odd inning, so I'm not sure if it's going to be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde here.
Oh, what a play by... But he just missed it as Kirk Gibson had a chance, and I thought he got it, but...
I also thought he got it.
You know, from my angle, from the...
As you see there, the shirt prove it, that dirt got rolled up on like he was a hog.
Yeah.
Just was able to come up with the play. If girlfriend, mom, doesn't really matter. Aunt, they're not going to be happy with doing his laundry tonight.
Knowing an independent young man probably can do it himself. So.
Oh, but Gord, if somebody else will do it, I will openly let him do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to openly do my laundry unless I absolutely have to.
Well, there's always the dry cleaning option. So.
Which I've actually used recently. Gotten my suits and my ties all dry cleaned up.
I got a runner on first, and we decided that he was going to see if he can lay down that bunt.
Well, and again, that's the leadoff hitter Dorian on first base, and he's got wheels too, so a bunt will easily advance him 90 feet, but he might try to take it regardless.
There's a pitch, low. Dorian at first base, and I believe it's French that's at the plate, number 33. There's a pitch, got to be a strike on that one. That was right in over the plate. You wonder why French didn't offer up on that one. That was just one that I would, that was a gift that I think. Kramer sets. Here's the fake bunt, gets the ball 4. Bases got 2 on him right now.
That's 2 ducks on the pond there for the blue shirts, and again, the odd inning, Nate Kramer struggled, and he's calling in the infield. So a little conversation going to be had here between the Baysox and 1 through 6.
Well, actually, I'm surprised that Don Bartley isn't out there on the mound, because I would be looking at probably changing Kramer. I think Kramer's done the yeoman service for 3 innings, and he's struggling again. This is not the time. You're 5-5. I'm surprised Bartley hasn't made the change, but then again, too, we'll see what happens with the...
But again, you got to have a little bit of confidence in your starter, and Kramer's had a really good year this year so far, so I think you have some confidence in him. And not only that, Gord, I think it's also, I think he knows that, the night hasn't gone the way he would have wanted so far, especially in the odd innings. So, give him maybe 1 or 2 more batters, and then if he starts really getting away from him, then I think you really start looking at making a pitching change, and who knows who can come in, if that's Trevor Smith or what have you.
Well, so many things can cause the game to change.
Come on, boys.
That was a good throw. It wasn't on the bag.
And again, maybe that's why they were talking, because they know these guys want to do that double steal, and Sattler was a little off the bag and was able to apply the tag, and it was a pretty good throw from Slater in the end.
Well, it was a great throw by Slater, but he wasn't on the bag to make the play. The problem was that he was 4 or 5 feet in front of it, and instead of going to that bag where the target was, and foul.
And I will mention, actually, as you saw there with the playing catch there with Van Wyck, is Trevor Smith. So you got to assume that sooner rather than later, Trevor Smith will be appearing in this game. Not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
I think that's what I was looking at earlier, because I was wondering when Don Bartley was going to come out on that exchange when the team got together, and I thought that was just giving them time to warm them up. So
that is a strike 3 call, but they opened up first base, so that should be an out, and it is in the end. So a good job there by the Baysox to complete the out.
I'm surprised they didn't throw the runner coming down second from third base. I would have done it on that when they're all heading down in that direction. You had to get the runner at first. That was this. I was surprised. They had a chance to get a run.
I don't necessarily think you risk it, because again, tied game, 5-5. Obviously, you can take that risk, Gordon. It can work, and you get that free run and the extra 90 feet from second to third. But if Slater realizes, here's his teammate saying, "Hey, home, home," Kramer covers, you get the free out. Now, you know, it's first and second or first and third.
There's a foul as Kramer gets out ahead on this batter. 1-0. Geez, Murphy, 1 strike. 0-1.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We're doing one more game, right, Mark?
Here comes the pitch. There we go. Here's the strike. It's in the dirt. 1-1 count. 2 out. 5th inning. 5-5 tie. Runners on second and third. Foul going to third base.
And a great play there by Zettler, and I believe that is the second out. As you saw there, nobody moved. But again, I think adds kind of to your point there, Gord, of do you send the runner there? You know, you're in the center with no outs. I don't actually think that's a good idea, because if the first out is a guy trying to take home, and now you've got guys at first and third, now you have an easy double play ball to end the inning. Still, with 2 outs now, you still have the only force out is first.
Well, my philosophy basically is if you got speed on base, you use it, and you send them. And sometimes sometimes the situation changes because of that. What you're saying is correct in a lot of ways. But the other side of it is, too, if you're aggressive, you score runs.
Well, I don't disagree. Gord, I am an aggressive guy. If I'm coaching, we're up. No matter what we're doing, we're pressing, we're trying to play that type of style. So I love it. If you're telling me, hey, we're throwing everything at the ceiling and we're just going for it, hey, I'm 100% behind that. I'm for that 100% of the time. And by the way, I think they intentionally walked the last runner to get the bases to be able to juice the bases.
We got talking about other things as far as the baseball is concerned. Yes, they did walk him intentionally. 2 pitches inside. I believe it's Ben Nicholson at the plate.
I think they just wanted to create the 4 score at every bag. But now, obviously, if he walks him, he gives up a free run. Another walk, I should say, but a walk.
Cody Bryan is at the plate, pardon me. I misread the number, so there's a strike call. Now we got 3-1. They're going to see if he's going to keep the bat on his shoulder on this one. Strike 2.
Boy.
Full count. Kramer took him to full.
But he really needs this next pitch. And again, if it's a strike or he gets a swing or even if it's a ground ball, because again, force any bag. So even if it's a chopper to Slater could just touch home plate and call it an inning. But you know, this next pitch is very important for the Baysox.
There's that easy throw. Kramer to first base, and it's out. That's a swinging bunt.
Hey, and that was a great throw from Nate Kramer. You know, people talk about a lot that sometimes pitchers really struggle with making that throw off the mount, and sometimes it is just a mental thing more than it is physical. That was a laser. That was a perfect throw from Nate Kramer to finish the inning, and as you see on your screen, we are evens here in the middle of fives.
Well-
5-5, both teams 5 hits in the middle of 5, so that's 5 fives.
Well, that's amazing. So, but the thing that was kind of cool too is they're all coming off the field. They're all up. So Slater just yipping and yapping at everybody, telling them how good a fist bump. And that was a really good inning. And
I completely agree.
it's amazing that it's 5-5 because I thought that the Baysox have played better and got some runners in run scoring position, haven't done it. But Dillon, considering that he gave up 6 runs in their last inning, has played very, very well, considering he's into his 5th inning now. So, or this is top of 6 if I'm not mistaken.
Nope, bottom of 5.
Bottom of 5.
Almost there,
I
Gord.
am mistaken.
You're almost there, Gord. You're almost there.
So I assuming that that it's still 1-0 for Argentina over Canada in the tournament.
It is, but Canada's, I honestly, Gordon, I don't want to take too much time saying this, I love right now the way the Canadians are playing. They're very much on the front foot, they're out of possession, they're up into Argentina, and I love it.
So, but if that's the case, I mean, that's happening, so...
You know, I love teams that want to press, especially without possession, and Canada's doing that, so hopefully Canada can find one, but even if they can't, Gord, playing the world champions in your first game is kind of a rough go.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're the Canadian team, you're looking at the guy that Messi's playing, you know darn right well that you kind of do some... some fan gawking as you're a player.
Oh, for sure. And he plays in the MLS, so a lot of the Canadians will know him because a lot of the Canadian players obviously play in the MLS, our national league, our local league. So, that also probably adds to it.
True enough. Here we are, bottom of 15, little bunt, going down the left, right. Did it stay fair? No, it's foul.
Well, I wouldn't have thought Nicholson will pick it up if it's fair. So I thought when he grabbed it, it had to be fouled because that would have been an uneducated play is the word I'm going to use, Gord, because you never pick up a ball if it's going down the line. You try to wait for it as long as you can to wait for that ball to go foul.
So it was fouled pretty quick, but that was a surprise to me as he would bunt that early. But if they need base runners, that's the aggressive style that you have to have. And
a bunt's a hit.
Yeah,
I know
sure.
it's not a glamorous one, but it's a hit.
Foul ball.
Oh,
Out of play.
And that one hit some concrete. The poor sidewalk getting beaten up over there.
Well, the amazing part about it, we had 30 degrees this morning. The temperatures jumped right down to something here that's more comfortable, but just sitting out here in this breeze is getting cool. So
Yeah,
wind is coming off the lake.
Yeah, we went from 3 straight days of 30 plus where nobody could sleep, nobody could eat. It was turning too hot for us Canadians, and now all of a sudden it's gotten to that kind of, now we're starting to get cool.
Yeah, but another foul ball right off the bat.
Actually, there it is right there. The Great Rogers team in the truck. They're doing all the work for us. 11-kilometer winds, 20 degrees Celsius, 85% humidity, as it always is here in Owen Sound in the Grey Bruce area. Humidity is a factor.
So there's a foul ball back to the... I wonder if Thielen is starting to feel it right now after being involved in none out. Counts 1 and 2. Fouled again.
I mean, what's honestly sad about this right now for Owen Soundgord is they're making a lot of pretty good contact. They just can't seem to keep it in the ballpark. Like, they've sent, at least 5, 6, 7, 8 foul balls now, wayward every direction, and they've been pretty well hit, pretty well struck.
True enough. Another foul. He's working Van Dielen, and all that's going is if they is tiring him out. I don't see him.
And again, you mentioned that Mansfield's pretty undermanned here, so that is obviously advantageous for Owen Sound as this game continues to get closer to the 7th and final inning. Well, no, I guess final because they tie, so definitely final inning.
Kind of looking around the diamond. There's inside.
Did it hit him?
I don't know.
I think he's saying it did. And wait a second, I think we're gonna have a little conversation here. Did that catch him? And they did catch him. Home plate umpire, as you mentioned, appealed the first base umpire, and he said, yeah, it hit him, and we'll get a chance to see it on the replay here. This is the perfect shot, I'd say. You see there, he kind of backs out at it, and yeah, it hit him. It careers off something, and it's got to be either him or the dirt. So.
Oh, it was him. I think Gillespie got that right. I kind of like that. Like Dana said, you check with Bobby Gillespie, the field umpire, and got the correct call. And we have the advantage of video that they don't. And although we could call them over and go look at it.
I'm not sure they technically could use it, though. I think that's inusable evidence, impermissible evidence,
well,
I believe.
Probably because of the fact that don't do it at every game. So.
Yeah, exactly. We don't do it at every game, let alone all the other teams. And I will mention we got the truck here, the lovely truck. It's only got one dent added to it, so hopefully Mark doesn't get hit with the bill.
Oh, no call on that one.
And again, it is Kirk Gibson up to bat, and he has a really good eye for the strike zone, as much as this season has not kind of shown that for him.
2-0, runner on first base. Hit batsman. Gibson cuts around on it and gets nothing but air. 2-1 is the count. Gibson set. Gio gets in the stretch. There it is. Down to second base and got the throw.
But a good steal there from Doyle as the fans give him a little cheer as he makes it around.
Well, that was quite the run, and of course, 3-2 count.
And again, you see it there, Gord, that inside, that curveball, that sweeping curveball, when it comes in at you, every batter reacts that way. They all see it coming at their numbers and think it's not going to cut back fast enough, and it just lands kind of right in front of their shirt.
Full count. There's a little punch out in the right. Oh, dropped the ball at first.
And you see, I've mentioned it all game because I've been waiting for it to work, Gordon. It finally brings fruit from that tree. Kirk Gibson's fast. He puts pressure on everybody. That's a routine play with the second baseman. It's a chopping ball right at him. But Kirk Gibson is so fast, he makes that second baseman second guess what he's doing, quickly throws the ball, and the first baseman is just not able to make the catch. And it's right at him. He's just not able to make the catch. And again, that's got to be because, and you can just say it's a common error, but I got to give credit to Kirk Gibson just being so rapid.
Well, he's quick and he's fast, but the other thing, too, is the fact is that the ball wasn't hurried, and it just did not stay in the glove of the first baseman. And
as there's a conversation going on there at the Mount there as the manager for Mansfield comes out to talk to Van Deelen.
Bourget should have had that ball. That was an out at first base, but it's given them an extra base runner.
And moved the runner over.
To third base.
Which it would have, I think, regardless, but still, you'd rather have the extra out, of course.
Well, Nichols sitting at third base. Or pardon me, Doyle.
And Zettler now up to bat with guys on the corners, and Zettler's been a pretty good hitter for them so far this year, playing a mixture of left field and third base.
Zettler with Slater on deck. Shake the bunt, ball into the dirt.
You saw there Nicholson run from third base as he kind of came for the bunt late as that ball hit the dirt, as Zettler, as you mentioned, moved out of the way. I believe that was a ball, as Zettler was able to hold up.
Zettler at the set for the pitch. Tries to set the bunt again. Ball off the shin pad of the catcher, Attenberg.
That was a great play there by Kirk Gibson to just go and be able to get there.
punch down right field. That's going to land fair, and it's right to the wall.
Doyle's gonna cruise home. Kirk Gibson's gonna speed home, and Zettler's got a triple as that ball got farted around with there in the outfield.
Oh man, did that ever get out quick? That was a line shot right down the line.
And now that gives Owen Sound their first lead of the game, Gordon. You know, if you want to lead, you either want it really early or really late, and they're getting it really late.
Well, but it's what we talked about earlier. They had to get the bats going. They had to be patient. Kramer's done a nice job on the mound, considering he's given up 5 runs. But it's some smart base running. But again, those 2 errors in the 3rd, 4th inning have been pivotal, and that's the reason. And 7-5 is. But it's also hard work. But if the Cubs hadn't given up those 2 errors, you know, it'd still be 5-5 right now, rather.
Now Carter French will make his way into the game. His 5th appearance in the season, only 5 innings pitched. He's allowed 21 runs in those 5 innings. So French has sort of struggled this year, but Mansfield needs a new look as they move Van Deelen to left field and move French back into the mound now. So he'll get some warm-up pitches here as Owen Sound will get a chance to kind of reset his Slater, I believe, is the next batter up. We'll also mention now, Gord, with that pitching change, they went from a righty in Van Deelen to a lefty in French, which should change some things here for the Baysox.
Well,
should. I'm not saying it will.
Well, I wonder sometimes, you know, like, I mean, the stats, you know, they put righties and lefties, but the thing is you got to put the bat on the ball, you know what's coming, so I don't know what you have to adjust to make it different with a left-handed pitcher. We basically, French is getting his warm-ups, and he looks like he's ready.
Actually, looks like Van Deelen is moving to, I think, second base. And they're moving Cody Bryan to left field, what it looks like to me. So a little bit of a fielding change there as well for Mansfield.
Well, like I said, they only have 10 players, so they're just got to move them just around to the different positions. So
yeah, pick guys in the best spot you can at that point.
Well, Slater can still hit the ball, and so I mean he's got the bases. It went on 3rd base, so he can still drive in a run.
Now a chance for the catcher to get himself reacquainted with this new pitcher.
Foul. Oh, pardon me. Left. I keep seeing that ball go up and up. Yeah, and the tag up. Slater gets a run batted in.
And you gotta wonder there as Bourget got in the way. I'm not sure if Bourget was gonna try to relay it. I'm not sure if they needed the relay. That looked like a pretty good throw as Zettler's able to score.
Well, but that's what happens. I mean, you get a hit and gets an RBI. That's what you wanted. They take the lead. In that inning, this inning is now 8-5, and everybody's contributing up and down the lineup, and that's what you want when you get to the bottom.
That ball skips by the catcher, but nobody on bag, so it doesn't really matter.
Not at this stage of the game. But bottom of the 5th inning, Owen Sound's taking the lead, 8-5 over the Cubs.
And they've really
from
picked
Mansfield.
up. And they've really picked up as this game's gone on, Gord, which again is kind of what you want if you struggle in the beginning. Just kind of work your way into the game, and Owen Sound has tonight.
Well, they got the sticks going when they had some trouble in the beginning, and then they got the sticks going, and then they makes a big difference in the outcome of this game, and also again too, errorless ball. That is the key, and they capitalized on the 2 errors in the 3rd inning and made a difference. Gave them a couple of runs that they didn't have to overwork and overdo, and low curve that was 14 feet in the air. So Bartley, I'm looking out there at it.
And he's had a pretty good eye for the strike zone all night, so if you give him free ones like that, I mean, he'll take them all day.
3-1. 1 out in this inning. Ball 4. French struggling right at the first batter. And they're going to have to be aware Bartley's got good speed too, so he can move along the bases. I would be advancing the runners as quickly as possible. I think get him in scoring position limit.
We'll mention Carter French has 13 walks on the year, almost leading the team, and a lot less innings from the guy leading the team in Cody Bryant. In about 10 less innings, he has 1 less walk. So one of French's kind of drawbacks is his control.
Well, right now he's got to get it quickly. Foul, out of play. Ryan Bartley, leadoff hitter.
So all the kids now go running for it there, Gord. I guess the lights have gone off enough where all the kids are now got the green light to run across the street, and there they were, and there they went.
Well,
kind of like the Baysox Space Runners, you know, they got the green light.
true. There's a fly ball. Out of play.
Missing all the vehicles too, so.
Well, that's the last place I park my cars, down the right field line. I'm over in the daycare center.
See, I right behind the washrooms, and I think that's a safe spot. I can't guarantee it, but I feel like
I wouldn't guarantee it because that's where Speedy got the business from me, because it was right beside the washroom. It was in Bing.
And there was an expensive thud, and we didn't know whose expensive thud it was. And then we found out it was Gordon's.
Yeah. That's a number of years ago. There was a minor game in the Falcon. I just dropped off the equipment. It was parked right there, and it couldn't get closer. And it was just dropping off the equipment before the game, and opened up the back of the van and
crunch.
Took the bag out, closed the thing, bang, and had to go to see Mr. Speedy. So.
And I go on top of the order right now for the Baysox as Bartley's up to bat, and he kind of wanted to swing at one of those bigger balls, at one of those higher efforts.
Oh, he cut at that one, and boy, he wanted that pitch.
And that is the strikeout there for Bartley. As now McNeil will come up to bat. Again, one of the other better hitters on this Baysox team. The top of the lineup is very good for Owen Sound. Been very
2 out. Two up is McNeil. Actually, the third up in this inning. We have 1 base runner.
A little bit of a time call there.
2 are out. Oh, big cut by McNeil on a pitch that was probably just on the outside edge. Top of the order. French looks, checks the runner. Strike 2.
French has really found his control here in this latter half of the 5th inning.
Baysox in control right now, 8-5. French gets set to deliver. There's a hit down third base, long throw, in time.
That's a great way to end the inning there for Mansfield, but they do leak a couple more runs there, Gord, and now Owen Sound going in the top of the 6th with 2 innings left here. It's a very good chance for the Owen Sound to keep up what they've been doing, and we'll see who comes out to pitch for him in this inning. It does look to be Kramer.
Well, that surprises me, but anyway, just like to let folks know that this is a Rogers TV telecast, and the crew is one of the best in the Rogers family and Mark Perry is our director, producer in the big truck that's behind us, and we're so pleased to be coming into your living room, and hope you're enjoying the game, and don't be afraid to send us some cards and letters and let us know how well we're doing, or an email.
Or Gord, letters by carrier pigeon, or you can go email, or I think my favorite is call Mark Perry.
Yeah.
Give Mark Perry a call and tell him just how good we are, or how bad we are. You know,
Yeah.
if you feel the other
If
way.
you're joining the telecast, but again, we're talking about volunteering, and this is a place that you're gonna have a lot of fun there. The camaraderie and the crews they're really great guys, and they're really great people, and anybody to tell you that volunteers for Rogers it's fun, and also the productions are extremely good, and we are very, very fortunate in our community to have such an important cog in communication for. There's some great programs that are on Rogers TV.
Yeah, great program like RTV Sports Wrap.
Yes.
I am a part of that. I think is fantastic programming on our Rogers channel. If I don't say so myself.
I got an opportunity to do it on Tuesday night, but the problem is I'm at Sabal, and the internet's not good enough, and I wouldn't want to get involved in it, and I'm not going to do it by phone anyway. So, right away, it's a thought. I mean, you guys are really up on the sports and are quite informative, and it's fun to listen to, and some really sharp sports minds in this area, and you've surprised me time and time again, Spencer, at your knowledge. So, real asset to that telecast.
I like to think so. I know Manny Pava may disagree, but that's okay, because Manny and I always have our verbal disagreements, because he's wrong 80%.
There's a hit out in the center field. Ball bounces up against the wall, but all he got out of that was a long, loud single, and still sitting at first base.
Now, what a cannon by, I think that's Robert Doyle there in left field. Absolute bullet.
Yep.
Back into the infield again, as you mentioned, to only allow that to be a single.
Bourget really got a lot of that ball, because that was in the deepest part of the diamond, and it's got a short porch here in Owen Sound.
Yeah, the little monster here in Owen Sound.
There's a foul. Bourget on his way to second, obviously can't get there because of the contact.
Hey, watch your road. Jeff can say that. Jeff can say you can't say that.
Kramer still on the mound, still pitching. That one off the bat.
We'll mention though, Trevor Smith is still warming up, so Owen Sound is still keeping that door open. That if they do need to pull Kramer, that Trevor Smith, is making himself available.
That's one of the unique things about baseball. The guy was trying to get out of the road, the ball hit the bat, and ended up causing a strike. So it's 0-2. So strike 3 got him. Kramer got another K. One away.
I believe that's his 6th of the game for Nate Kramer.
Bourget is still sitting at first place.
But I will mention, Gordon, it is an even inning, and usually Nate Kramer has done his best work in the 2nd and the 4th, and now he's looking not bad with that first hit here in the 6th.
Bourget just got all of that when there's a ball outside. Nice play by Slater to just corral that thing and keep it from going to the backstop, and Bourget getting an extra base, so which they don't want to do. Don't want to give up any runs now towards the end of this game. Ball 2, 2-0. Kramer looks in, takes the sign from Slater. There's a shot, strike.
I will mention, because they only have those 9-10 players available, Gord, Van Deelen moving in, he's still technically the 9-hole hitter, but now he's playing second base.
Yeah, and because he's at second base, he can come back and pitch too. Shortstop off. Oh, that was too bad, because that really, and not happy with that, you could tell on the throw.
Yeah, Kirk Gibson caught that one right off the dome, I want to say. Is that, as you see there, got to put his hat back on, get the flow back contained.
That took a bad hop just in front of him, and he had trouble corralling that. And that's a very uncharacteristic. You're going to watch the play here through the screen. You're going to see the ball just hit something and caught him on the head, too. You're right. Took his hat off, and he's looking for the ball. And for a moment there, I'm glad he's not injured. That's cool. That's not fun.
Yeah, definitely won't feel nice hitting on the top of the head.
Runners at first and second, one away. There's a play to over to first. Gonna get two. No, ball goes into the. Didn't send him.
I'm surprised that Mansfield didn't end up sending the guy at third base.
I thought Bourget should have been sent on that throw because that was a great try for a double play. Gibson made no mistake that time, underhanded the ball to second base, got it over the post, and was in the dirt, unfortunately, because it was a quick play. Could move down the line.
Yeah, but again, maybe the speed on third base was kind of the issue. Gord, you mentioned having speed. I'm not sure if Bourget is maybe the fastest guy on the team, as, again, this blue shirt team loves to steal bags, but there he goes, as that ball skips right through Kirk Gibson.
Well, the ball hit the dirt in front of the play. It was actually probably a good throw by Slater, but they just could not corral it as it hit that dirt and bounce, and it was right on the money. Here comes the pitch. Ball. We got to get this runner. You don't want to give up any more runs. And now the score's 8-6. They got one back.
They still got a guy on second, so
that's
still one more in scoring position.
That's French at the plate. Just outside. 2-1 the count. 2 out. 2 runners on. 1 and 2. French steps back into that batter's box. Kramer looks the runner. Now the bases are loaded.
Nope. Close. First and second.
Oh, first and second. You're right.
It would have been if Bourget didn't steal third.
That's
or
true.
steal home. And now Greer's had a pretty good day at the plate. We'll have a chance to tie or maybe even take a lead here if you can put it in the seats. Put it in Gord's backyard.
Well, it would be nice. I'd have a ball to play with.
What, did you lose all your golf balls?
I'll have to do that. I got those. Golf's the greatest exercise in futility you ever want to be involved in. But it's fun. Get some fresh air, camaraderie.
Golf cart.
To short. Oh, you threw it away.
And they called him out at first base, and Mansfield's very adamant that wasn't an out. We're going to, I think, appeal it here. We're going to have a little conversation between umpires to see if that was the call.
I won't overturn it.
And they do. So now it is 8-7. Oh, no, pardon me. That is just a single. So I think it's just bases loaded now with 2 outs. So
where was Gillespie on that play? He was pretty well. He was on this side of the diamond, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He's right now standing right just in front of second base.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to overturn that. So, but that's
How high is that 2? So
2 out. Owen Sound Kramer's struggling in this inning, and it's the odd inning again too. So